Hey everybody, one of our subscribers commented about a possible leak on the TopperLift, and I checked it out and he may be right. Stay tuned and we'll talk about the TopperLift and potential leaks. The biggest inquiry we get about the TopperLift is, does it leak? And we've been telling people no, because our bedding has never gotten wet. But I had a comment from one of our subscribers. His name is Joe Salimi or Salemi. I'm sorry if I pronounced you wrong, but I wanted to give you credit for finding this. He asked if this seam leaks. And I thought, no, it doesn't. But after I started to think about it, I realized our bed is high. It's not in the bottom. So let me show you what I found. I realized that our bed is on the same level as that seam. So even if it does leak, it's going to leak down and not really get our bedding wet. So I looked under the seam and guess what? It's damp. It's not wet, considering that we are in the heaviest rainstorm we've been in so far with this yesterday. Hail. I know. When it rains real heavy, we do lower the topper, and it's lower a couple inches now than it could be, and it makes this kind of sag in. That way the water, it less drips onto the fabric itself. During that rainstorm yesterday, everything was soaked. It was the kind of rain where just nothing's staying dry unless you're in a hard body camper. And the outside of this fabric was drenched, completely drenched. And I had probably 2 inches of water up on top here before I realized it had held that much. But that being said, all of our bedding stayed dry. The inside of the fabric was damp to touch, but nothing leaked. I wouldn't say anything was a leak. It was what I would expect. I actually was surprised it held up as well as it did, considering the amount of rain we had in a short amount of time. Our bedding a little bit is damp here, but it's because we've been driving around a lot and closing this up, and since this is wet, that's getting wet. But it's at our feet, and we're kind of rough it kind of campers, and as long as it's not ice, we really don't care. In the springtime, when we redo this, I'm going to put Velcro back further, so this will draw back and I won't need this contraption right here. One of our subscribers commented that to me, and I can't believe I didn't even think about that when I installed it. But that would definitely help this sag that we have, and I'm sure that would help with the rainwater too. So our whole bed system, we've never had wet in any of the rainstorms we've had. We've always had good luck with the TopperLift, and we are impressed with how well it's retained heat. It was down in the 30s the other day, and we slept fine. We have an electric blanket we turn on for about 15 minutes before we go to bed. We use our Jackery battery, and then we shut it off when we get in bed. The bed's nice and warm, and that sustains us all night. And we've been dry. We've never had wet bedding. So our subscriber Joe, his suggestion was TopperLift should sew something in here that would kind of serve as a flap, and I believe he meant it would sew here and come down and then like kind of magnet to the sides here. Then when the water does hit it, it would run right off. I think that's what he mentioned in his comment, and that makes total sense to me. I think TopperLift should do that. So I think that's it for this video. I just wanted to talk about potential leaks the TopperLift might have. I guess some people would consider that this drip edge a little bit of a leak because it was damp underneath. I think if you put your bed up like we have it, you won't have any major issues. If you put your bed in the bottom of the truck, yeah, you might get a little wet. But like I said, yesterday was such a downpour. I'm surprised it held up as well as it did. And for little rain, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And I also think if you're going to camp like something like this, then you've got to expect some rain. I mean, this is just basically a glorified tent. The fabric is heavy duty, and we're really impressed with how well it's withstood against rain and wind and heat retention. It's kept us very warm. So yes, it's a tent. It's going to leak a little bit, but not enough to worry about. We've gotten through the whole season with our TopperLift. This is the last trip with it, and I would still recommend a TopperLift to anybody that wanted to give it a try. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you in the woods.